Okay, hi everyone. We will start our webinar. First of all, I would like to check if you hear me properly and could see a picture. On the left side of your screen, you may see attendee chat. Please type there if you could clear me properly and you could see picture. And after confirmation, we will start our webinar. So please let me know, do you hear me? If everything is okay with the sound. Yes, perfect. Okay, let's start. So today our topic will be know your client, compliance of politically exposed person and linked person. My name is Katerina. I'm Assistant Compliance Officer of Eltoma Corporate Services. So let's start. Today we will discuss next points. First of all, what is the procedure of KYC, know your client, relevant legislation and requirements for politically exposed person, who is such person, their types. Also, we will discuss the issue of linked person and the types of linked person, where to find reliable PEP and LEAP data information. Also, we will cover information about identification of documents, identification procedure, in general, how KYC procedure covers politically exposed person, also requirements for record keeping, cases where we should reject the clients, and suspicious reporting as well. So let's start. What is know your client? In simple words, know your client, it's due diligence. It's the process when you're trying to identify who is your client. So it's the process of a business identifying and verifying the identity of the client. What does it mean? It means that this a small investigation inside the company about the information that the client provides to your company. So you trying to find some information, all the document that the client provide to you in order to see are these documents true or fake. Also, you may ask some additional questions to the client if you have some questions or suspicious regarding their activities, regarding their documents, and so on. And the procedure of due diligence or know your client is the process which will help you to identify if this person or rule of this is better you know your client, more appropriate measures you apply to mitigate risk in your company. So under the law to provide KYC procedure, first of all, it's credit institutions like banks, big financial companies, also financial institutions, and legal person who is acting in the experience of their professional activities. For example, such as Eltoma, trust companies, service providers, notaries, external accountants, tax advisors, auditors, estate agents, and also any other business if the company receive cash amounts. For example, if €1,000 or more, you also should provide KYC of your client to know from where this cash came to your client. And also providers of gambling services, casinos, and so on. KYC definitely should comply with the law, directives, and obligation of each country. So each country under the law obligate different legal entities to provide KYC of the clients. Also, every organization, every company should have their own procedure of such verification. Also, board of directors should approve the procedure and should have compliance officer in the company if they have a lot of clients and they know that this area in which they deal is high risk area. Also, companies should update all identification documents, and compliance officer is always a responsible person to implement all due diligence and know your client procedure in the company. Under the law, there are three categories of clients: high risk clients, normal risk clients, and low risk clients. Again, this categorization based on case by case issue, and today we will directly cover only high risk client, exactly political exposed person. So political exposed person is a person who always will be high risk client. I will explain you why. So first of all, definition of political exposed person are covered in the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, in the 3rd and 4th EU Directive on prevention the use of the financial system for money laundering and terrorist financing, also in FATF 40+9 recommendations, and also FATF has other recommendations, guidelines on PEP verification, and other internal legislation in different countries. So in general, the term politically exposed person dates back to the late 1990s, where the Nigerian dictator Sani Abacha, along with his family members and close associates, organized massive theft and withdrawal of assets from accounts of Nigerian government. So this term became used in legislation in early 19th. Also, for now, there is no officially recognized international definition of politically exposed person. So there's like several definitions, but more or less they covered the same person. It might be under the FATF as an individual who is or has been entrusted with a prominent public function. For example, under UN Convention, it's individuals who are or have been entrusted with prominent public function and their family members and close associates. Anyway, every country could implement their own definition of politically exposed person, but anyway, more or less, it will be the same all around the world. So, why politically exposed person is high-risk clients and why this category of clients should be identified? It is because of their position and influence that they could have in the country and that they could have to government authorities. Also, unfortunately, due to some situations, news, and so on, more or less political exposed persons can be involved in some money laundering offenses, in tax evasion, in bribery, corruption, and also terrorist financing. So that is why politically exposed person clients always will be high risk. So you need to keep an eye on all their activity. Under the law, there exist three types of PEPs. It's foreign PEPs, domestic PEPs, and other group of PEPs. Let's see who is foreign PEPs. So foreign PEPs, it's all individuals who are or have been entrusted with prominent public function in a foreign country, for example, head of state, head of government, senior government politicals, judges, military officials, and so on. I will explain you what does it mean. For example, your office is in Czech Republic, for example, and for you, member of government from Ukraine, for example, will be a foreign PEP. Or a person who is on government position, but it's situated, hold this position abroad, not in Czech Republic, for your company will be a foreign PEP. So it's just a simple example. Domestic PEP. Domestic PEP is individuals who are or have been entrusted domestically with prominent public function. For example, again, heads of state or government, senior politicians, government, and so on. Just for example, your office is situated in Cyprus. So domestic PEPs for you will be all Cyprus politically exposed person, like head of state, member of parliament, judges, head of prosecutor office, head of Ministry of Internal Affairs, and so on and so on. Also, please note that not all countries subscribe the concept of domestic PEPs and foreign PEPs. Some countries identify PEPs in general, so it doesn't matter if the person is coming abroad from another country or it's domestic person with who is a PEP. They identify them in general as a PEP, and doesn't matter is it from Ukraine, Russia, United Kingdom, US, Australia, and so on, or it's from native country. Other PEPs. Other PEPs, it's a person who are or have been entrusted with appointment function by a state-owned enterprise or an international organization, refers to member of senior management. As an example, Council in United Nations will be PEP. Also his assistants also will be PEP. Members who represent their countries in the European Union, like head of country member from Czech Republic, from Ukraine, from Italy, and so on. All these people will be also PEPs. Also, the PEP will be the director of state-owned enterprise. For example, in different countries, it might be if the country or government owned 50 plus 1 share of such legal entity, the director and shareholders of such legal entity will be a PEP. Also, there is such definition as linked person. So, who is linked person? Linked person, it's people such as family members, close associates, and any individual that publicly know or may know that they are close personal or professional associate. For example, it could be parents and children of PEP, spouse or partner, brothers, sisters, uncle and aunts, and even indirect family members. Also, it will be close friends. For example, if PEP is a shareholder of one legal entity, and there are other people who are share owners of this entity, all these people will be linked person because they have shares in legal entity where PEP has his percentage. Under the law, they will be linked person because anyway they may be under the influence of this PEP and they may act in the interest of this PEP. So they also will be highlighted as high risk clients in this matter. Most financial institutions view PEP as a potential compliance risk, as it was mentioned before, because of their position, because of their influence to the government, because of the situations that they may involved in corruption, in bribery, and so on. Because under the law, in some countries, for example, it is forbidden for PEP politicians, for example, members of parliament, to have their own business. But they use their relatives, they use their linked person, and, for example, some trustees, which act in their name, and in such way they control all the business spheres in this. So, also, screening for PEPs is usually performing at the beginning of accounts opening. This procedure known as KYC and due diligence. this procedure is more popular for banks because every time they all banks screen their clients at least once per year. They double check the status of the clients. So if for 1 year person was not a PEP, gain a position of the law. A year later, bank anyway will know that periodically is performed as part of ongoing due diligence. So where you may find reliable data about linked person and politically exposed person. Such data may be found from, again, public available sources such as government issued list, internet, media sources, just type name and surname. However, there are also available some financial institutions which could help you to identify such information, and the websites. Some websites, for some information you need to pay. Some links are free, so you may see them on the screen. PEP.org, Every Politician org, Little Cis.org, Name Screen, Free Check, Equity, Info, C, LexisNexis, and so on. So there, in the world, there is no one database which will cover all the information about PEPs and linked persons, unfortunately. However, there are some databases which could help you to identify such clients. As an example, I will show you how it looks like. So here is screen one of the database. So you may see the name of the person. You may see his picture, sometimes picture available, sometimes no. You may see his category. So you may see that he is domestic politician exposed person. Usually you may see date of birth, place of birth, and his position. So you may see he is Minister of Ukraine, Prime Minister. Also, for example, if we are talking about linked person, you will see here the category close associate. So close associate under the law also highlight high risk client, and this person will be identified as linked person. Category, last position, date of birth, and place of birth also you may see. Also, some databases may give you additional information, connections. So you may see how this person connected and to which person this is connected. So here you may see his family members, also personal connections, why this person was identified as linked person, because you may see that he has personal relations to member of parliament. So again, close associate of PEP will be identified as LIP person. And again, this LIP person must be under the law, must be in the category of high risk clients. You should not afraid about such clients. You just only should keep an eye of such a client, and you know that he's political person and he may be involved in some cases and so on. You don't need to reject him. You may have business relations with him. It's okay. Nobody will make some sanctions and so on to you. Everything will be okay, but you must keep all his records, all his documents, all his information properly saved, and check all this information on annual basis. So every year, check the information on him, with him, checking relevant databases, checking internet, and so on. Also, we as corporate service providers, we also offer the service of identifying such person. Also, we will confirm if the person is political person or associate with political exposed person. Are he under some sanctions, under some, or if this person is wanted. Also, we will may confirm the identity documents and so on. So if you also interested in it, please refer to us. We will continue. So what identification documents PEP must present to you? For example, in Cyprus. First of all, he must present you information on his public position. So if he declares that he is PEP by himself, let's see the situation if he declared that he is PEP by himself. So he came to your office and told you, okay, I'm a politically exposed person, this is my position. It's perfect situation, so you already know that he is PEP. He must present to you for the first time valid passport, official national identity card, and documents that could prove his proof of address. All these documents, if for example we are talking about foreign PEP, all these documents must be verified by relevant embassy or notarized, or these documents might be verified by a licensed attorney. Also, it is under the law. It is requirement under the law to ask to provide additional documents from the high-risk client, such as PEP, a second ID with picture. It could be driving license, national ID card, also bank reference letter, which will be stated that such person has an open bank account and he's good client. Also signed CV. Signed CV will confirm to us that he is politically exposed person. But this is in situation when the person tells you, okay, I'm politically exposed person, you already know this. And you may also require to provide any other documents that you are interested in. If, for example, client came to your office, and when you ask the question, are you a politically exposed person, or do you have any connection to this? And he told you no, but you identify him as, yes, he is a PEP or he is a link person. You should not inform him, like, come on, I know that you're a politically exposed person, why you didn't tell me? No, it's common situation, usually it happens. Just ask him to provide all the list of information. Again, valid passport, identity card, proof of address, second ID with a picture, bank reference letter, and signed CV. So you will have all his information and all his documents. Also, you may ask him to provide any other information. Oh, I can see that there is a question about source of funds. We will cover it a little bit later. Don't worry. We will continue. Also, identification procedure and due diligence in general is a process of investigation. So, when this client came to you, you should provide some additional measures to identify this person. If you could meet this person face to face, it's a perfect situation. If no, and the agent provides you with a copy of documents, they are notarized and so on, it is better to ask the agent to have a Skype meeting with such person to see that he's real person, this document is real, and this person could present you this document. So you again will be sure that these documents are not fake and they are real. Also on PEPs, you should provide enhanced research for their source of funds and wealth. How you may do it? First of all, you ask direct question. Okay, you provide me with your CV, mention such and such and such. What is your annual income, for example? Also, please note that in the internet, in some jurisdictions, it is obligatory for PEPs to publish their income, and all public could find this information. So before, check the internet, maybe you will find this information already. If no, please ask client to provide information from where he has such funds. It could be, again, some intellectual property rights income, income from rental agreement, income from some other actions and jobs, or previously jobs. Again, you should remember that this person was not always politician. Before he became politician, he may have a business which could help, and money from which now he used to open his business or to maintain his business. It's not a criminal offense to use business money from previous business experience and put this money into business now when he is a PEP. But you should also be aware and ask the client if like this illegal money. And if you're providing bookkeeping for such companies, you must definitely review transactions. You must see, are there any suspicious transactions? For example, if all the year company deal transfer in, transfer out money 2,000 euros per month, 5,000 euro per month, 10, 20, and once day you see that, okay, there is 1 million. Why such high difference between last sums and these sums? So please ask such company or such client to provide you comments for what services this money are. So first of all, you must secure yourself from any problems. So you ask question. If the client don't want to provide you such information and so on, please make note. Client refused to provide for me this information, date, and you will know that if there will be some problems, there will be confirmation that you already asked about this, but the client refused to answer. Also, how identification of money could be done. It could be information about employment income, savings and deposits. If it's savings and deposits, again, you may ask to provide the confirmation of such deposits. Property sales, again, contract, that agreement that this property was sale. Sale of shares, loan, company sale, company profits and dividends. All these there must be documents that could prove it, because again, politically exposed person may be linked to money laundering. And first of all, you must secure yourself in this issue. Also, please note that all identification documents such as passport, proof of address, second ID, they must be presented to you in 3 different types. First, if you see the client face to face, so you see a region. Confirms that. Second type is when these copies will be certified as true copies by your business partner, for example, or license partner. And third is apostille or notarized copies. So you will know that notary put his sign there, that he sees these documents in original, and these documents are real. If you will not use these 3 options, it's better to not deal with such client, because you will be not secure provide to you. So anyway, you may see, first of all, documents in original, documents approved by your business licensed business partner, or apostille or notarized copies. And in most jurisdictions, all documents must be translated into English as well. Also, one department, and for KYC, never use the same identification document for both. For example, proof of address and proof of identity. Each document should be used for only one identification purpose each time. For example, if person will give you internal card, you may see there, okay, there is a picture and there is address. But you should use it as a second ID or as for each category document. Also, please note that if the relationship with the client, anybody from the office identifies that there are some First of all, you should ask and require that she that the investigation, because every must be sorry, some problems with sound. And now, okay, so I will sorry I will on annual basis, high risk clients must be under review. So every year you must check documents, must check the passport is still valid, that the person still live on that address that he provide to you, that he doesn't have any second passport, that he still has bank account at the same bank, or maybe he changed the bank and you don't have any relevant information. So on annual basis you must update all the information. Also, the procedure of KYC should include your record keeping, so all the documents that you obtain in electronic folder as well and in paper folder is the best way. So if something happened with your computer database, you always be able to have paper documents. If something happened with paper documents, you always will have access to electronic folder. So please keep records in two types, electronic and paper. Internal reporting. What does it mean? It means that if you identify that your client is a PEP, please inform your manager that this client will be high-risk client because one of the UBO of the shareholders or directors is a PEP or link person. So the senior management of your company will know that they will be dealing with such client. Also, the procedure of KYC includes reporting of suspicious transaction. As it was mentioned before, if you see that some transaction is suspicious and the client refused to provide you any information and any comments about this transaction, government authority that some company receives some suspicious transaction. Always provide supporting documentation about such transaction. Also, please keep the employees fully up to date with the system. So provide some training to the staff so they will know how to deal with politically exposed person, how to deal with different types of clients, how to deal with the documents, how to save these documents, and what are the requirements for all this procedure. So regarding that, all the documents must be kept for a period of 5 years. It's the best. If something will happen and government authorities will come to you, you will have all your records regarding this person or this company. The documents must be available in case, again, as I told, or certified through copies, notarized, or documents must be translated in the language of your country of operation. And also, if you're international company, all the documents must be translated into English as well. So now let's see when you could reject the client, even if he is PEP. First of all, he provides you incorrect information. Also, he provides you no suitable explanations, for example, about his source of funds. Yes, he tells you, okay, it was my previous salary, and there is like no any document that could prove of it. And for you, it's not suitable, you can reject this client. Also, if the PEP or LIP person refuse to provide any accurate documents and information, and when you will identify, if and when you will identify that this person is involved in illegal activities such as money laundering, bribery, terrorist financing, or he's wanted by any internal authorities, Interpol, and so on, definitely reject the client and inform government authority. Suspicious reporting is a procedure when you report to the government authority when you are identifying that your client is involved in money laundering, terrorist financing, tax evasion, and so on. First of all, if this was identified by just member of the company staff, first of all, this person must tell to the compliance officer that, look, I have some suspicions that such client may be involved in some illegal actions. After this, compliance officer and all available information, and after this, he will make a decision, should the company report about this client or no. Maybe this suspicion was fake and there is no any proof of such suspicion. For example, if in Cyprus, government authority to which you should to report will be MOCAS. In Hong Kong, it will be GFIU. In different countries, it's different authorities, but in general, it's Financial Information Unit Authority, which deals with money laundering. Please note that when you identify that the person is involved in money laundering, terrorist financing, some illegal activity, you should not inform the client that you know this, because otherwise you may be lied. You may have some problems with government authorities as well, and you might be in prison. Because here will be the rule of tipping off. Tipping off is a process when a person discloses information to third parties for suspicions related to money laundering or terrorist financing that have already been reported to the responsible authority to make a disclosure which may impede or produce the interrogation and investigation carried out in respect of prescribed offenses. So if you will inform the client that, okay, you identify that he's involved in money laundering, he will have time to clear all the documents, to move somewhere, so the government authority will be not able to catch him. And then they will come back to you and they will provide investigation under your company. Does anyone from the company inform the client about such suspicions or about this or about that it was reported to government authorities? So never staff, senior management, nobody from the company should not inform the client about any suspicions that such company have. Otherwise, problems will have not the client, problems will have your company. Okay, this is all. At the end, I just want to tell you that if you're interested in our services, such as registration of the company, immigration service, property service, compliance training, tax planning, bank accounts opening, legal services, please refer to us. We're also now dealing with property sales in Cyprus. You may see some our main websites. So please visit our Cyprus, Singapore, Russia, Ukraine offices, and also we have call centers in United Kingdom and Hong Kong. Thank you very much for your time. If you will have any comments, please email to eltomainfo.com and I will answer to all your questions. Again, thank you very much. See you next time.